thank you. Thank you. We are so blessed, aren't we? You know, that song, when Bette Midler came out with that song, I always thought of my mom because my mom was that for me as I was an athlete training. My mom was always that person standing with me and behind me, pushing me, no matter how good I did. It was never quite, Mom never was. She'd say, you can do better. You can do better. She was always the one that was pushing me to strive for more, to know I could do more. She was the wind beneath my wings. And then through my life, I've had so many people that have stepped up and been that. And then I hope I've been that for other people as well. It's just a beautiful song with a beautiful message. And thank you. Thank you. Woo. So the quote today, it's Tony Robbins. I feel like I need to get up here and start clapping, Woo. Life doesn't happen to you. Life happens for you. Isn't that great? Yes. So we're going to get all Tony Robbins up in here. Although we're doing a book by Deepak Chopra. So, woo! We got it all going on. And last summer, we did that summer series on Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements. It was so popular that many of you started asking me in the spring, what book are you going to do this summer? What book are you going to do this summer? So I chose to do Deepak Chopra's The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And we're in the second week of that. So, and you know what? Last week I said we were in the world's hottest summer in the history of the modern age. And we still are. But I feel we've got a little relief coming. It's coming. I feel it. So let's see if we can intentionally cool off a bit today. So last week we talked about the first 2 laws of the 7 spiritual laws. The first, the law of pure potentiality. And the second, the law of giving and receiving. So today we're going to talk about the third and the fourth and the fifth. So we get, yeah. And they all just go right together, though. And isn't that the way? That's the way when we awaken our heart, everything just falls together just the way it ought to. So that third law is the law of karma, the law of cause and effect. Everything that happens is going to have a cause and an effect. And life is choices. And I know you've heard me say that many times. It's your choice. Life is made up of our choices. And your karma is an amalgamation of all the choices you've ever made. In this life and maybe in a life before. All those choices that you have ever made. And choices have consequences. Cause and effect. Many times our experiences in life cause us to react in a conditioned or a learned way. Deepak uses in this book right here, the 7 spiritual laws of success. Deepak uses the example of Pavlov in this book when he's talking about the law of karma. Because Pavlov proved that dogs would salivate at the ringing of the bell because they had been conditioned by being fed when a bell was ringing. They had been conditioned to relate the two, to respond to the bell ringing. They would salivate just like if somebody put food in front of them. So in a similar fashion, we have been conditioned. We have conditioned responses. I might compliment you, and you might react in a pleased or a flattered way and say, oh, thank you, Reverend Kimberley. And then again, if I were to insult you, you would be offended because you have been conditioned for those responses. But you have a choice. You don't have to go with the conditioned reaction. You can choose to not be flattered by a compliment, and you can choose to not be offended by an insult. You know, some people say it's water off a duck's back. Yeah, that's when you're not going with that conditioned reaction. You're not just, some people call it a knee-jerk reaction to something. Because those reactions are unconscious and conditioned. But you know what? Even though they're unconscious, we still take the karmic hit. We take the karmic hit from cause and effect for that reaction. And in life, we have all experienced drama and trauma, and we can start becoming triggered. Is being triggered a choice? Many of you might have just responded silently in your head with a no to that. That no, being triggered's not a conditioned response. When the answer is actually yes, it is. To be triggered by something is a conditional choice. But I'm telling you today, it is in you. It is within you to reclaim the power to make a new choice for yourself. Rather than being captive to a conditioned reaction. Now, I know some of you might be feeling some kind of way at me over that, over saying that triggers are conditioned responses that we have control over. But we do. It's always a choice. It's always your choice. Even if that choice sometimes is uncomfortable in the making. We can be automatically triggered by words, by actions, by circumstances, by situations. And those closest to us are always the best at pushing our buttons, aren't they? Or eliciting an automatic reaction from us because they know how we're going to react. And that's why they do it sometimes. You know what, though? The beautiful part is it's still your choice. Albeit an unconscious choice, how do we move that unconscious reaction to a conscious response? Well, we have to stop. S-T-O-P. As soon as you become aware that you're in that conditioned reaction rather than a conscious response, stop what you're doing. Take a breath, open your heart, and pivot and step to a conscious response rather than an unconscious reaction. Awareness. Awareness empowers you to witness the choice, to become the observer. That simple, sometimes small shift in perception, or maybe it's a shift in mindset, is all it takes to become a conscious choice maker and move from triggered to empowered. So with those choices, either conscious or unconscious, there will always be consequences. Will this choice bring happiness to me and those around me? That's a question you should ask yourself when you have a choice to make. If the answer to that is yes, move forward. Go ahead. Do that. Embrace that choice. If the answer is no, don't do it. If your choice will bring distress or discomfort to you or to others around you, don't make that choice. You're going to take the karmic hit for it if you do. If you make a choice knowing that it's not going to be good for you and it's not going to be good for someone else, you're going to take a karmic hit, and your karma is going to hold on to that. Because all choices have consequences, cause and effect. That's where karma comes from, our choices. Out of the infinite possibilities, there is always a choice that will suit you, that will make you happy and make those around you happy. That choice is the choice of spontaneous right action. To make that choice feels good. To make that choice in conscious right action It just feels good. At the moment you make any choice, I'm going to tell you, you intuitively know in your body if it was the right choice or not. Every time. Every time. Are you paying attention to that? And that feeling might be in your solar plexus, but most people call that your gut. That's where that saying comes from. I have a gut feeling. I'm feeling it in my gut. I shouldn't do that. Or for many people, it's a feeling in their heart center, in the heart chakra. You know where it is for you, whether it's a gut feeling or a heart feeling. And so when you have a choice to make, pay attention to where you feel it. Stop. Stop what you're doing. Take a breath. Open your heart. Put that decision in your heart and wait for a response. You're going to feel it. It might be faint, but you'll feel it. You know, the saying, only the heart knows. Or maybe you get that gut feeling. Our heart taps into the law of pure potentiality. We talked about that last week. Your intention will guide you and your heart will steer you, more true than any rational thought process ever can. When you allow it, you have to allow it. Maybe it's comfortable and maybe it's not. Maybe it's a little uncomfortable for you. But tap in. Tap into your heart. Take those decisions. Do this, do that. You know, when I was training and I was going to do a change in something, man, I was an expert. I'd take out that legal pad. I'd draw me a line right down the middle. I'd put pros and I'd put cons. I'd put the pros. I'd put all the good things that were going to happen for me if I made that change. And then I put all the uncomfortable things. What wasn't going to be so good about making that change? Oh my gosh. Because if you're an athlete and you've ever made a change to your golf swing or to your bat swing or to your pitching, the way you get it done, man, it has a profound effect on you. Because you're all up in your head thinking about making that change rather than just doing it. Because there's something to that where Nike said, just do it. There's that muscle memory. And that's when we're the most successful, when we can just do it and get out of our head. But when we're going to make a change, it's a big change. So I used to make that list. Oh, all the good things that could happen. Maybe I'll jump an inch higher, 2 inches higher. But oh my God, I'm going to feel so uncomfortable, you know. And then if I get halfway up to it and then I start getting in my head and I'm making my approach and I had a 10-step approach and I get on step 6 and I've got those 4 more power steps before I'm going to take off and leap into the air, that I start thinking about it. Am I doing the old way or the new way? And then I just run right through it. I couldn't even jump because no, it ain't going to work. But tap into your heart. The choices we make every moment are creating our life, co-creating our reality. The law of karma, cause and effect. It's always working. It doesn't take a break. It's always there. It's always there. What are you doing? You doing it the right way? Are you doing it the way your heart knows or the way your gut's telling you to? Let that law of karma work for you with every choice all the time. And by becoming a conscious choice generator, you can clear old karmic energy in your life. You'll begin to transmute negative into positive and transcend the effect of past karmic debt. That's what they call it when we may have made the incorrect choices at some time in our past, and so we're holding some of that karmic debt. It comes payable. We have to pay it. So, but the way we act and the way we present in our life today can transcend some of that karmic debt. It's always your choice. Last week I told you that stillness is the very first and very best step to claiming your power. Silence. There is power in silence. In Psalms 46:10, I shared with you, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still. The things that make life worth living are not found up here. They're found right here. They're felt right here. Does it feel good? So let's go into that silence for just a moment, into the silence of meditation. But before we do, I want to give you a centering thought. When I do something to bring happiness to others, the fruit of my karma is happiness. When I do something to bring happiness to others, the fruit of my karma is happiness. So if it feels right for you, close your outer eyes. I want you to just be aware of your breath. Slowly breathe in and out. In and out, allowing yourself to find your own perfect rhythm. What I sow is what I reap. I am in the flow of least effort. Silently to yourself say the mantra, Kriyam Numa, Kriyam Numa. That mantra means my actions are aligned with cosmic law. Kriyam Numa. Allow yourself to drift into the silence now. And if you become aware of a thought, go back to silently repeating that mantra, Kriyam Numa. I will mind the time for you. When I do something to bring happiness to others, the fruit of my karma is happiness. Listen to your body. Listen to your gut. Listen to your heart. So as we all come out of the silence and back into this sacred space and awareness of our physical body, we take a collective breath of gratitude. We open our eyes. We breathe in and we breathe out. That was just a moment of silence, barely more than a minute. Deepak suggests in his book that we do that every morning and every evening for 30 minutes. I know some people can do guided meditation all day long, but they have issues with that silence. But I'm telling you, if you start a practice, maybe it's 5 minutes, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 3, whatever works for you. But when you go into that silence, you connect with that still small space within in a way that nothing else gives you. So I would urge you to at least try it and see how it helps you, how it works for you. And see if you're listening to your heart, listening to your gut. So the fourth law, the law of least effort, the principle of harmony and love. It's our nature. Harmony, balance, and love. It's our nature. Miracles are this law of least effort in full force and action. The law of least effort, doing its thing, shows up as miracles in our life. And as I've shared with you before, there are two types of people. Those that see everything as a miracle and those that see nothing as a miracle. So when you're living your life in harmony and balance with your environment, in harmony with the people around you, and most importantly, in harmony and balance with your true self, you're living in and with the law of least effort. When you seek power or money for the sake of ego, you're spending your energy chasing happiness and you cut off the flow. Rather than living your life doing that thing, the thing, you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort and the most amount of joy. That's living in the least effort. When you do that, your energy multiplies and flows back to you, and you can create and manifest anything in your life. I promise you can. And no, it's your choice. You can create a stressful life by constantly fighting with the energy to live in your ego, and all the while you're edging God out of your life. Or you can choose to love what you do and do what you love. Living in harmony and balance, experiencing an affluent and prosperous life, an abundant life in every way, by doing less and accomplishing more. It really is a natural law, just like gravity. Now, I'm not saying to use the law of least effort as a way to deny any responsibility. Oh, I'm not responsible for that. I'm doing the law of least effort. And just decide you can sit on the couch all day and be an unproductive person in this life. Commit to knowing the truth that this moment is a culmination of all your past experienced moments. Isn't that amazing to know that this moment, right here and right now, is a culmination of all the moments we've ever experienced? Take responsibility and know it is as it is because you are as you are. Ooh. That makes you take responsibility, doesn't it? My life is as it is because I am as I am. Whew. And to argue with that truth is to use your energy in struggle and stress. Wishing things were different won't change them. It's important to accept the way it is. I'm going to age myself here, but when I was a little girl, I remember Walter Cronkite saying at the end of the news, and that's the way it is. And when I was writing this message, I heard his voice reverberate in my heart. And from time to time in my life, when I need a wake-up call to just accept something and stop staying in the struggle and the stress of it, I swear I can hear his voice say, and that's the way it is. And that's the way it is. Those of us of an age, there's a comfort in that, isn't there? Hearing Walter Cronkite in our head telling us, and that's the way it is. Because that's the way he ended every newscast. And that's the way it is. And as you take complete responsibility for your circumstance and take responsibility for how you feel about it, Then and only then do you have the power to change it. Not blaming anyone or blaming anything for the situation, and that means not blaming yourself too. Acceptance and then responsibility. The ability to be responsible. Responsibility. Ability. You know, there's a Southern comedian. I know many of you probably haven't heard him because he's a good old boy. His name's Ron White. Actually, it's Ron Tater Salad White. And he's funny. And he tells this story about the days before he stopped drinking. And he was in a bar. And he had one too many. And he got a little out of hand. And he got thrown out. And then he kept insisting on going back in. So the police were called. And the police came and talked to him. And they started reading him his rights. And the officer said, "You have the right to remain silent." He didn't skip a beat. He said, "I might have the right, but I do not have the ability." So know our ability and take responsibility. Be responsible. Every upsetting situation, every setback, and every failure will become an opportunity for the creation of something new, something beautiful. When you are in the midst of torment, of torture, over a decision, over something that's going on in your life, remind yourself this moment is as it should be. Be assured whatever relationships and resources you have attracted into your life are exactly what you need to resolve the situation. Resolve the situation into abundance, affluence, and prosperity. You have all you need. The universe has made sure of that. You just need to take hold of the ability. The universe has conspired to make it so. Relinquish any need to paddle upstream. Just let go of the resistance. Go with the flow. Follow the signs. Don't stand rigid like the oak in a storm. Sway like the bamboo. Be flexible and bend with the winds of the storm like the bamboo. You will survive and you will thrive. It's your nature. In the words of Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda, yes, my grandsons are coming to visit, so I'm getting ready. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and this moment is a gift. That's why it's called the present. As you begin to get out of your ego and live more and more in the present, you will find you are becoming enlightened, carefree, joyous, and more loving. Without the stress, you're going to feel better. And I promise you're going to look better too. Let nature's intelligence unfold spontaneously without restriction or effort. Your dreams and your desires will blossom into reality with ease and grace like the 10,000 petal flower opening up with no effort at all. That's the law of least effort. And so the fifth law is intention and desire. We sang that song, Intentional, for a reason. It was intentional. It was intentional. Your body is not separate from the body of the universe. We are all energy. Everything is energy. The tree is energy. Us humans, we are energy. We share the same base elements of hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen. We share the base elements as humans with the tree, but we're different. The difference is not the physical elements. The difference is in nature's intelligence. The information in the energy. The information that's in the energy that we all are. We humans have a nervous system that is capable of being aware. We have thoughts, beliefs, desires, feelings, emotions. We have memories instincts, and drives. Our body is not separate from the universe. You are a vibration. I am a vibration. The universe is a vibration. We are vibrational beings in a physical body. With our attention and our intention, we can transform our life. We can even influence our age with attention and intention. We all have a chronological age. That's how many birthdays you've had. How many birthdays have you celebrated? How many candles have you blown out? It's how old you are when somebody asks, how old are you? It's the number you say. And if you're young, if you're a child, you're going to add on that half year. Mind if you say, I'm 5 and a half. I'm 5 and a half. Well, once we reach a certain age, not so much. We don't claim a half. But science proves that we also have a biological age. We have a chronological age. That's how many birthdays you've had. And then we have a biological age. Sometimes they're the same. Sometimes you're much younger than your chronological age. And even sometimes you might be older than your chronological age. Again, it's your choice. Again with the choice. Huh? It pertains to everything we do. Choice. Some people, those experts in biology, those doctors, those prevailing powers that be, they say that aging is more mental and physical. It's more mental than a calendar on the wall or a calendar in our phone. They say that humans are the only species that have an awareness of age and that there is an expiration date. We know how old we are, and we also are aware that there is an expiration date. The squirrel doesn't know there's an expiration date. The birds don't know there's an expiration date. They say we're the only species that's aware of a biological clock ticking. Well, I don't know if all that's true, because I think some animals probably know their biological clock's ticking. They mate, they do the birds and the bees, they know what's going on. But the prevailing wisdom tells us we can affect change to our biological age. That truly we can be as old as we feel or as old as we think we are. You can be as old or as young as you think you are. I heard Deepak Chopra say, I'm 35. And we all know he's not 35. And he said, on an interview, he said, my biological age is 35. Adding years to our life while adding life to our years. That's what we're doing. Adding years to our life while adding life to our years. Awareness brings the ability to influence or change our age. I'm good with that. How about you? I'm a bit younger. Yeah. How do they say we can reverse the aging process? Well, now that's a billion-dollar industry involving cryogenics and all kinds of things. But primarily, we can influence our age with a commitment and adjustment to our diet, by meditating, by removing stress, and removing toxins from our environment and toxins from our body. All common sense and practical changes we can commit to make, because that's what I'm about, bringing this spirituality into our practical everyday life with attention and intention. And Deepak Chopra wrote a book called Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. And he tells us that we humans, we aren't even middle age until we hit 70. Think about that for a second. That we are not even middle age until we hit 70. Well, I'm not there yet. So I'm not even middle age yet. So I'm in on that if you are. Let's do that. Let's do that thing. Intention lays the groundwork for the effortless, spontaneous flow of pure potentiality in your life, expressing through us and as us. Remember that your true nature is one of pure spirit. You have the power and the choice to live your life in pure potentiality of your true nature. And only you hold that power. You even hold the power over your age. Wow. So I'm going to leave you with this. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a wonderful, miraculous gift. That's why we call it the present. So love yourself. Make choices that keep you out of that karmic debt. Get in the flow of least effort by doing what you love and loving what you do. Pay attention and choose to live an intentional life. See your body healthy, feel your mind clear, and reverse your biological age. Believe in a higher power that is guiding you and looking out for you. Be more connected to your friends, your family, and your spiritual community. Be in the flow of least effort and excited to contribute your life, your love, your genius to the world. We need it. That sounds pretty amazing, right? Sounds like a pretty amazing life. Well, guess what? You can have it. All you need to do is choose it and be present for it. Choose it and be present for it. And so it is. So it is. Thank you.